Greetings, Padawans, and welcome to the Archives. Here to unlock this holocron is the man of the hour, Jedi Master SoTeeko.
To kick things off, just to get the energy going, we're going to play a little bit of this or that. It's essentially like Would You Rather, but just with two options. Going to keep them in-house to Star Wars. So this or that, instead of
Natalie Portman,
you get Keira Knightley as Padme.
oh, that's so. You know what's funny? That's almost true.
Yeah, because wasn't she like one of the doubles or something?
She was Queen Amidala, I think, for like a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Natalie Portman just killed that fucking role. I think she was Padme Amidala.
I mean, yeah, but
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Does Keira Knightley look more like Princess Leia than Padme does? Because that...
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good point.
I want to say Keira Knightley does look a little bit more Carrie Fisher-esque.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. Like, nothing crazy, but I think there's more of a resemblance there. Whereas with Leia and Padme, it's
more of like the personality that transfers over, not much looks. Yeah.
Leia, Carrie Fisher looks a lot like Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
So either way it works. I think it's funny how the gene splicing worked with the Skywalkers, because while they both got Anakin's power, so they got 100% of Anakin's power, 0% of Padme's power, they got 0% of Anakin's height and 100% of Padme's height, because Luke is like 5'8", 5'9", and Leia's then like 5'3", 5'4", so
it's all about those dominant recessive alleles, man. That's all it is.
Exactly. I wouldn't have minded Keira Knightley though, truthfully.
I think it would have been cool, like, so the idea of having Padme having like her own secret service, I thought was always really cool and super interesting, especially if you look at the actresses that actually played them, because at the time you had Keira Knightley, there was one other, I forgot her name. She's like the girl from like Insidious, all those movies. I forget her name, but she was also one of them. I think she's the one that dies in the opening of Attack of the Clones. But I think it would have been cool if Padme had like one like assistant, or like the one like bodyguard that was like kind of with her throughout the trilogy. I know she had a Captain Eye Patch, Mr. Pirate. I forget his name. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Keira Knightley played Sabe. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. All the names end with A too, or A or something like that. So it's like Padme, Sabe, Corday.
Yep. Corday.
But, I think it would have been cool to see more of Keira Knightley, for sure.
Apparently, there's one that was named Hornay. W. We love that.
Nice.
Played by Jamila McMillan. So.
All right, who wants to be Hornay?
Yeah.
Raise your hand.
I do. Not the boys. Jeez.
Pick me. Please pick me.
All right.
Oh man.
So have you got a this or that for a Star Wars? Because I've got another one that I think a banger. I think it's a banger.
This or that. Trying to think. Okay, yeah. And this is something I've brought up before on other episodes, but like, instead of so Luke is, facing the Emperor. He's on the ground being electrocuted. Would you rather see Palpatine get thrown down by Vader, or Palpatine and Vader actually fight?
And it all makes sense, like
something more epic, where there's more of a struggle instead of Vader just picking him up and throwing him. You got to consider though that Vader is missing an arm and he's kind of beat up from Luke. So I don't know.
I think it'd be tight if
his-
Vader picked up, because he lost his saber. If he picked up Luke's and used the Jedi's lightsaber again, I think, especially with the theory that Luke's crystal is Qui-Gon's, I think that would bring everything full circle. Like he's using Qui-Gon's, he's using Qui-Gon's saber to end the Sith, truly making him the chosen one. That'd be pretty nuts. Kind of got goosebumps there talking about it, but
I wasn't aware of that theory of Luke's saber was Qui-Gon's crystal. That's crazy.
Yeah, it originates from Obi-Wan being just this big like nerd, and Obi-Wan did have Qui-Gon's lightsaber. There's that statue of him.
Yeah, he picks it up and keeps it with him.
Yeah, and he has Anakin's. He originally had what was it? He originally had one of Yoda's lightsabers, but that comic got retconned.
Yeah, but Luke ends up getting Yoda's lightsaber somehow. They don't really explain that yet, do they?
No, I'm guessing it's just from his little hut when he passes away, because another little tidbit, Yoda fell into the Force and he was like wrapped up in Qui-Gon's robe. That's what he used as a blanket. But yeah, the theory was that Obi-Wan had Qui-Gon's crystal in his little box, and within that was like the journal, which I have over here. Actually, I actually found this. So this journal is called the Jedi Path, and essentially it's been passed from Yoda to Yoda's apprentices, Thame Cerulean, who passed it to Dooku, who passed it to Qui-Gon, who passed it to Obi-Wan, who passed it to Anakin, who gave it to Ahsoka. It was then it was then stolen from the Jedi Temple by Sidious and then reclaimed by Luke. And each of the pages has like annotations and stuff from each of the Jedi. And
interesting.
Yeah. In this, like, this journal was in, or a section of it was copied in Obi-Wan's little box, and that was how to create a lightsaber, which is why Luke's lightsaber looks so much like Obi-Wan's, because he literally just went by his schematics, and he used Qui-Gon's crystal to be the crystal, because I think it spoke to him because of how much that Qui-Gon loved Anakin, that he wanted his crystal to then speak to Luke. So pretty cool little theory. But yeah, to wrap up and answer your question, I think if Anakin used that lightsaber to end the Sith, it would have saved us from some sequels that we aren't a fan of the wrap up, and it would have just been beautiful. I think if you tell the story 1 to 6, that's a very possible outcome. But because it was 4, 5, 6, we didn't know about Qui-Gon yet. It's a little bit different.
Yep.
So similar this or that. Just got a message from MJ as well. He might be popping in here shortly. Similar this or that. As far as the originals go, would you rather have had Luke display like some Force stuff prior to meeting Obi-Wan, or have him not Force sensitive at all until he meets Obi-Wan?
I'd like him not being Force sensitive at all. Just because I feel like if he were to like display any hint of being Force sensitive, like someone would have said something by then. I mean, I know Tatooine's kind of like the the ass end of the galaxy, but like I feel like somebody would have said something by then, and it would have may or may not have jeopardized or put a lot of pressure on Owen and Beru. But I think if he was, I mean, something subtle, something where like maybe like something where like he can move stuff with his mind, but he only does it when no one's looking, and he just assumes that everybody can do this. He doesn't realize he's special. So, but I think I'm gonna go with the no signs of force sensitivity.
That's fair, and that's kind of a dilemma that I'm facing right now as I write my book, because I'm writing about a 10-year-old on Tatooine who is he's basically a day away from finding out and figuring out these powers that he has, and I'm writing it so that his father was one of the people in the crowd during Kenobi that witnessed a Jedi get strung up and murdered, So the defense in my book is that he doesn't want his son to even know that like he's capable of doing these things, and he doesn't want anyone to know, but just out of fear of what could happen to him, because the last Jedi that he saw got put up on display for the whole town to see out of fear,
Yeah.
So I think Owen and Beru probably felt the same way as well, where they were trying to just repress it as much as they could, because Owen was there. He saw the guy.
Owen just doesn't want anything to do with
That
Anakin,
too,
because he knows like Obi-Wan, the Jedi, they all messed up. Like he's probably like, how the hell did you let this happen? Like he's probably somebody, he's like, he supported the Republic, things were good, but now he's like, how did you guys let this happen?
Yeah.
Now our lives suck because of you. Like, I don't want any more of your BS, kind of a thing.
Yeah, he's kind of like that guy who was working.
Yeah, he's just a blue collar guy, just working, just wants to collect his paycheck, pay his bills, and now life sucks because the people he trusted messed up.
Yep. And it probably, I've never been able to like get over the fact that Bale and his wife accepted Leia as their daughter, but Luke was always their nephew, They never adopted him. They were just simply like taking care of him.
Well, I think it's because they wanted to keep them separated, just because they're like, if one gets discovered, at least we have the other.
Yeah.
So I mean, one of them's super rich, the other one's super poor. I mean, you got to keep them as far away from each other as possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Lifestyles included, I think.
I wonder how things would have turned out though if Obi-Wan just raised the kid. What up, MJ? How you doing, buddy?
I don't know. I think Obi-Wan would have screwed up.
At some point. Yeah.
I think he would have screwed up. I think at this point Obi-Wan knows like they were all wrong about a lot of things, and Obi-Wan's just trying. Obi-Wan's like in like salvage mode at this point. I think Obi-Wan would have screwed up, because I think he would have gotten too personal. Like obviously he's let his guard down so many times after episode 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think all he can do is be a guide, and that's the role he accepted, and he knows that's all he can be.
Yeah. And he didn't have any other outlets either. It's not like Satine was still around. It's not like he knew where Ahsoka was. Like he was literally on his own. So it probably was for the best that he didn't then have a responsibility that he had to take care of.
Yeah.
But his responsibility was just being that overseeing protector of the kid, which, like you said, it works out very well.
Hello.
What's up, buddy?
How we doing?
Good. We're just doing a little bit of this or that right now, which is basically like a would you rather, but in-house for Star Wars. So right now we're debating, whether or not you'd want Luke to have been showing like Force sensitivity before Obi-Wan started teaching him stuff.
I think it was played right.
I do too. I think if he did, like Van Seal said, if he did something just little, something subtle that he may have thought everyone could do, that would have been one thing. But if in the most part, I think they did it well. My only thing is he was like, what, 18, 19?
17 in A New Hope.
I think that might be a little bit late to start quote unquote showing. So I'm on the train that Luke had shown something, and I knew like
I feel like Luke, like I feel like Luke would have been so oblivious. Like I feel like he would have done something and like not even realize he did something. Like I don't know. Like
he has,
like,
yeah.
oh, what?
He has the focus parts where he's a great pilot, best bush pilot in the Outer Rim.
Yeah.
He can bullseye a womp rat from 300 meters away. All of which, like, not everyone's doing. Not even, what's her nut? Master Assassin. What's her name?
Sam, Fennec, Aura.
Fennec Shand. Not even her,
Okay.
because she misses like every other shot that she takes. And she's meant to be this master assassin. But I find it very hard to not think that he wasn't doing something. Like even the little kid in The Last Jedi was just using the Force to grab his broom. So surely Luke had something like that, along the lines of what you were saying, where it was very subtle.
That kid was using magnets. He wasn't using the Force.